What's up, boys? It's Dual Factor once again with another video. This time it's going to be a deck profile. It is going to be another Pendulum Magician deck profile. I've been showing you guys a lot of Invoke deck profiles. Before that, I did do a lot of Pendulum Magician. I'm back to playing this for the time being, just because I got a little bored of the Invoked, honestly. It's a little stale after a while, and I actually really like this deck. I think it's really good right now. And there's a lot of interesting things and a lot of intricacies it can do, too. Plus, I think it's the second best deck. The way I see the format right now, Spiral's definitely the best deck, and then number 2 is tied between this and Trickstar. I haven't really messed with Trickstar. I might actually have my buddy Doug do a profile on it if he's comfortable doing it on the channel. But I'm going to go ahead and show you an interesting Pendulum Magician deck, not deck profile, but an interesting Pendulum Magician build that I kind of came up with. And it's more really theory-based, but I mean, the theory seems solid, and I have played a couple games with it, and I kind of like how it works. So I'm going to show it to you. So, onto the monster count, start with your searchers. We'll do 3 Skulker Bat Joker. You guys probably should know what this does by now. It searches almost everything in your deck, and it's at 3 again, so we're going to play it. I'm still playing Supreme King Dragon Dark Worm, but this time I'm playing it as a 3 of. So, I like the fact that it's a 1-card Pendulum Scale in your deck, and it's also searchable through Wavering Eyes. So having a searchable 1-card Pendulum Scale through Wavering Eyes is really important. It actually makes playing Wavering Eyes worth it in the deck. So I went ahead and went up to 3 because there's a lot of the times when I've done testing so far, when you Wavering Eyes, you just want to be able to set the scale up by using only a card in your hand and then using the rest of your resources in a Pendulum Summon, using the resources out of your hand to build a board. That being said, one of the conflicting issues with this effect is the turn you activated this Pendulum effect, you can only Pendulum Summon Dark Monsters. So this build, I don't run Wisdom Eye Magician in, and I literally max out on all my Dark Monsters. The only 2 monsters in my deck that you can't summon the turn you activated off of it are Pendulum Sorcerer and Oath Dragon. Those are the only 2 Pendulum monsters you can't Pendulum Summon the turn you activate this effect. So that's when they're, and to be perfectly honest, Wisdom Eye, like, I understand that it goes and gets any scale out of your deck, but it conflicts with Pendulum Call, which I'm actually playing multiple Pendulum Calls on this deck. It conflicts with this guy's Pendulum effect because you can't Pendulum Summon it off it, and more or less it's just a 1500 body that you're summoning. So I just went ahead and cut it complete from the deck, and I'm just maxing on this card so that way I have the most versatility out of it, and that way I'll see it more often. Plus this and Pendulum Call is really cool too, so that's why I'm playing it at 3. And then for the Magicians, we're playing 3 Harmonizing. It's the best one. It floats everything out of your deck. It's your tuner. It basically gets the ball rolling. So 3 of her. 3 Double Iris. It searches all your Pendulum Graphs. It can be searched through Duelist Alliance. It's a searchable high skill through Duelist Alliance. Just a really powerful effect. 3 Purple Poison, it's your low scale, it pops face-up cards. That's another thing to point out with this deck too, like low scales are in like really short supply. So you kind of have to max out on this card. So 3 of that. I did bump it up to 3 Black Fang. Since I'm not playing Wisdom Eye at all, your Magician count is kind of low in this deck. So you want a couple extra Magicians, that way you have more, so you don't necessarily run out of gas in your deck. Plus, this Monster Reborn effect actually is really relevant, so that's why we're playing the 3. And then the 1 Oath Dragon. A lot of people play 2. I still only play 1 because I hate opening this card. But it is a low scale, and it puts Harmonizing and stuff like that back in your hand. Like I said, I wanted to minimize the conflicting monsters that put with Dark Worm's effect, but I still think it's necessary to play the 1-0, so I still play it. Then on to what I consider the bricks of the deck. Because really you just want to search them when you need them. You don't actually want to draw them, but Perform Power Pendulum Sorcerer, a lot of people play 2. Like I said, his attribute is what conflicts with him, especially with Dark Worm, but being able to search Joker and being able to activate your Double Iris effect is really important, and it's a searchable low scale, so that's why we got to play the 1-of. And then kind of the tech that me and Bobby have been talking about is the one Perform Power Odd Eyes Dissolver. So it's searchable through Pendulum Sword, which is really cool. So it's like playing multiple copies of it, especially with Duelist Alliance and all that fun stuff. But its effect lets you fusion summon Vortex Dragon, which Vortex Dragon is a really powerful card. It's essentially Solemn Judgment, I don't know about the non-targeting part, but it bounces a face-up card on the field. The biggest part is it's searchable, and it's searchable without having to play the field spells, so I've tried it out. I'm just trying it out for now. Its effect's really powerful. I just don't know how relevant it's actually going to be. I need to do a couple more testing, but for now, the 1-0 is actually really cool. And then the searchable 0 scale for Dark Worm. Just play the 1. If you don't want to play multiples of it, it calls you to brick. But because Dark Worm's effect's so powerful, you have to play the 1-of. At least I think you do. I could be wrong, but. And then for hand traps, I play 3 Ash Blossom because it is the best one, and then just the 1 Maxi. The problem with Pendulum decks is you can't really play hand traps because you kind of just want to be able to combo up with all the cards in your hand because it's a Pendulum deck. But unfortunately, the format requires you to play a Summon for a Hand Trap Disruption, so we're at least playing these. Depending on testing, I might take some cards out so that way I can at least fit into Drawn Lockbird or whatever, but until then, we're just going to continue to play that lineup. And that's it for the monsters. On to the spells. I am going to the extreme of playing 3 Wavering Eyes. So it's not that I think this card is, like, incredible, but 2 things. 1, it triggers your Magician effects turn 1, so you can activate your double Iris Magician to search your Pendulum Graphs. You can use it to add Dark Worm, which is a 1-card Pendulum scale. But most importantly, it lets you play during your opponent's turn, which is a really powerful effect. So, like, for example, if you don't have a way to get to the trap card and you have purple poison, this lets you have interaction with your opponent's turn. It gives you an edge in the mirror match, which is actually pretty relevant right now. Like, it's an incredibly powerful effect, so that's why I feel like you should play 3. And also, since, like I said, since you're playing the 3 Dark Worms, your Wavering Eyes, if your opponent isn't playing Dark Worm like you are, make sure it's infinitely more powerful than he is. So, I think it's worth playing. 3 copies of Duelist Alliance. Everything that's important in your deck, this card searches, so I feel like it's necessary to play 3 of. Yes, you can only activate once per turn, and multiples in hand and clog, but I'd rather run the risk of drawing multiples. In exchange, I get the absolute most consistency I can of searching my pieces, and I can be able to do the same thing every turn. That's like this deck's niche. It's the most consistent. So there's that. Every Pendulum deck I'm going to play is going to play it. Almost every deck I'm going to play is going to play this until they say I can't, no more. Like, you want the extra cards in hand, and there's not really anything that you could banish that you're going to miss. Like, yeah, sometimes banishing the 0 gate is detrimental and it kind of sucks, but you just want the extra cards in hand, and usually you can make it, even if you banish the 0 gate, you can usually just make another play. So, there's that. And then, for now, we're playing 2 Pendulum Call. I almost want to play 3 just because it's that good with Dark Worm. But this is also one of those cards, like, it does suck to open multiples, and you can make the same argument with this card that I am for the reason of playing 3 Pot of Desires and 3 Duelist Alliance. But one of the biggest reasons is that it just flat out loses to Ash. Like, you are just neg-2ing yourself at that point, because you have to discard a card for cost. They Ash it, you get nothing out of it, like... But I feel... with Dark Worm, it's that powerful that you should play multiple copies of it. Because sometimes you just want to hard draw this, you don't want to search it. So, there's that. Only 1-star Pendulum Graph. No, we're not playing Wisdom Eye. So you're not going to activate it as often. But it's still necessary to be able to search this card to continue on through your plays. So the 1-of's definitely necessary. And then we're playing 2 of the trap cards, Time Pendulum Graph. This card's phenomenal. I love it. The only flaw it is a trap card. That's the only complaint I can make about it. That's it for the main deck. On to the extra. This is one of the sweet tokens. Not sweet tokens, but sweet field center that I got. Because if you notice, I'm playing on the new Spirit of the Warrior mat from Metamats. And I did the pre-order. So I got the dice and the field center. The field center is actually pretty sweet. I love the artwork of this mat. They really outdid themselves. That's all I can say about it. You know, the sweet goat tokens. And then on to the actual important part here, now that I'm fucking around. So for the fusions, we play 1 Supreme King Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. He will come up. And the 1 Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon for the Odd Eyes Pendulum Dissolver. So, like I said, it's essentially a Solemn Judgment. It also recycles your cards, which is really cool. And then its bounce effect. Okay, so it does target, but upon its summon, you can just target an attack position monster and put it back into your opponent's hand, extra deck, whatever you want to do. So that effect, it's just a really powerful effect. So I think it's worth playing Dissolver to be able to play that card. On to the Synchros. I'm playing 2 Omega. I might cut this down to 1 because I'm not playing the Clear Wing. Because it's a wind and you can't Pendulum Summon if you activate Dark Worm's effect. And honestly, the double Omega play doesn't come up as often as you think. Like, it does come up, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on it. I'm usually my turn 1s. I usually just want to make Bagooska Omega anyway. So, but for now, we're still playing the 2. The 1 Ignister, we only have 1, but when it comes down, it's usually game. Enough about that. And then the 1 Supreme Game Dragon Clear Wing, it's your board clear. Usually when you drop this, you're usually going for game. It's a powerful effect. Sometimes I think about playing 2, but then I don't, so I don't know. But it's really good. That's all you need to know. Dark Rebellion, you can do some cheeky OTKs with this. Trapeze for game, you already know what it does. Bagooska, I love and hate this card. You almost want to make this every turn 1. But at the same time, when you make it, like, if you can't game your opponent, you're just kind of stuck sitting there, and they're getting more cards in their hand, and you're just stuck behind a Bagooska. But it's still the best generic rank 4 we have access to right now, so I'm going to play it. 1 Time Star. You almost never make this. Like, I understand why you need to play it, because it gets you to most of the cards in your deck, and it gets you to Joker, and, like, it sets up a play for next turn, but, like, it's like I just seem to be making it less and less, but you still have to play it. Tornado Dragon for being able to disrupt your opponent's spell and traps, and since field spells are so important right now this format, you need to play it. Your Utopias, sometimes you need a big beater to get over stupid cards. That's the guy. And then for the links, I play 1 Akashic Magician. I haven't come in a situation where I've had to make it before, but I know it's going to come up, and I'm going to continue playing it. Like I said, more testing to be needed, but for now, just the 1's fine. And then the 1 Decode Talker. And then that is it for my Pendulum Magician deck profile, guys. Always remember to like, comment, subscribe. As some of you guys probably noticed during the week, I did make a new Facebook page for the channel where you can ask me questions. You can also be more than happy to put in your input there. I'll probably start posting when I post videos on there as well, so you have another place to actually see when I put them up there. Whenever I decide to new things for the channel, I'll post them there too. Like, just go ahead and check it out. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. You'll have some dual videos after this one too of this, and then if you guys actually want to see a video of this actual beautiful mat that MetaMats came out with, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to show it to you. But as always, thanks for watching, guys. Later.